Okay, so now we want to do the update. Now you notice in here, before we did not have the ID. Now I modified the code actually to show you the ID. So if I type in BMW and I do find, it's going to give you the ID as well. How do you do that? What you do, you will find in here in the document, the one that we had looping through document, the document ID, that will give you the ID. So I just simply display it in here. So what about the update? Now the update is very, very similar to actually the add. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy the add. Okay. Copy everything in the add, Command V, and then here Command V in here, right? So I got the model, the make, the price, the plate. Now the ID, I got the ID as well. And then you do your validation. Now after that, you create the same object that you've done before, same object, same thing, and then you do try collection, set data for that ID, okay? Now, if you're using the same ID, it basically will update the field with the same ID. So in here, you say record updated. And then you reset everything back to blank. And then if you have any error, you can say could not update the record. The database. So it's basically the same thing that we have done in the add. The only thing that is different in the add, it's basically you're not starting from scratch. You will get the fields already in the database, so you'll do find, and then you make the changes, you create the structure, then you set the data, same stuff. So let's run it and see what happens. So in here, I'm gonna do the find by the make, let's say the BMW, and then I do find, and I got all the details. Now if I want to update this record, for example, the price, I want to reduce the price, so 75,000, and then I click on update, and then it says record updated. Now if I do find again the BMW, now it should have fill in all the information. Oh, for the validation. Okay. Okay, we need to do find first. So we did the find, and then you can see that I clicked on the wrong one. So it is 75,000. So it is updated. So this is how you do add, find, and update. The next thing I want to show you how to do the login and the log out, and then the register screen as well. Now that's already in the lab that I showed you, but I'll do it quickly as well, so you will have the whole example for working for you. So I'll see you in the next video. All right, so this is the last part, okay, that we're going to do for this Firebase project. So I'm gonna do, let's go back to the original code, the file that we've been working on, which is the demo project. Now what I've done here, so just to speed up things, because it's going to take a little bit of a while. So if you go to the storyboard, what you have to do, you need to add two view controllers, log in and register, okay? And then you will put the email, the password, the login, and you have a button called login. And then when you log in, it takes the information that you enter here, checks in the database, in the Firebase store, and if it's valid, it takes you back here. If you don't have an account, you click on this and it takes you to the screen where you register your user. Now in here, I embedded this also, I embedded this screen with a view controller, so I have a view controller that allow me for the navigation part. Now to make this easy, I created only one file. This file will have the register and the login, the register and the login for it. And in here, you need to do, you link it. The class name, I call it login register. Here is the login and register class. And then I'll go over the code in a minute. But in the main storyboard, you link it. You link the login and register. You link it with the class identity, so you'll see this is the class called login register. This is the class that's called login and register. Okay. All right. So that is the how you do the login and register screen design. Now we'll go into the code in a minute. All right, so the Firebase, the login and register function class has a few functions that you already know already. So we have a login. The login, it checks, you give the username and the password, and then if we have if they're not filled, so this statement basically check if you don't enter anything, and if you don't enter anything, we have a function here that this function shows an alert message instead of, and you could do that with the other one as well. So every time you want to show an alert, you just simply call the show alert message that we've done before. Now, after you validate the data that they have entered something, then here you create the username and password. You sign in. How do you sign in? Username and password. And then you show the alert if it was failed, if we got an error. Otherwise, if it was successful, you show the message show alert with a completion. Here it says the message saying that you log in successfully, and the completion here is going to say it take you back to the main screen. Okay, so this is for the login, and this is for the register. Both view controllers are connected to the same screen. Here you have text field and then text password, and then you got, again, you make sure they enter a value, otherwise you show an alert, and then you log in if it was successful. You log in, message registration successful if you got registration successful. Now you can dismiss it, go back and log in, and that will take you back to the main screen. So it's a simple file, it has same basic functionality, login, register. And in the one thing that you need to do, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute, in the main screen view controller, in this part, you can check always if you already logged in or not by checking in here. You can say, for example, if authentication dot user get user ID. Just check one thing here. It's actually the other way. So what do? You check if auth that current user is equal to nil. What does that mean? It means that the user is not logged in. So here you will put user is not logged in, and you need to update the buttons accordingly. What does that mean? That means, for example, you need to enable buttons, because only if you're registered user only, then you can update the database. So I'm going to leave that to you as to practice it. But that's it. That's all the functions that you need to be aware of for the exam. So good luck, study well, and I'll see you in the class.